Welcome to the Bronx Cheer Basketball Show. I am your host, Naif. We got Cheech, we got Rise, we got NBA playoffs.
Go!
We got the playoffs. They're here, 2023. We got some boring series. We got some entertaining series. We got some stepping on some ribs today. Draymond Green back to his old shit. But lots to talk about. Cheech, how are you?
I'm good.
You good, Rise?
I'm feeling good.
Ah.
I'm feeling great. We all know why.
For anyone who's new, I just can't handle, I can't handle happy Lakers fans. Man, it's been a good 1 or 2 games, depending on which series. By the time you're seeing this, it definitely will have been 2 or even 3 games for some series.
Yep.
What have you liked most? I'll ask Cheech first because, and to give a bit of context on Chi here, how do I say this nicely? Chi loves to jump the fence, jump ship. I've got physical evidence of him saying that he's a Bucks and Kings fan for these playoffs.
Yes.
Simply because you think obviously the Heat have no chance.
Yes. That's. I'm too realistic. I'm like, what are we even doing here? Okay, like we won the play-in, and that's just like tick the box exercise. And then now it's like, okay, just chop my head off. We're done. And then Hero's out.
Yeah.
So I was like,
4 to 6 weeks.
Done. Like I was like, Giannis is out. I'm like, And then I was like,
Hero's
we're
out.
done. Where we're gonna get our offensive production? I don't know. So.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a Kings fan.
Light that beam!
Light the boom!
Let's go, man. I feel like when I watch that game, I feel like I'm right there, man.
You feel like you're part of them, don't you?
Yeah.
Even not like, and you want to get it, you feel for it.
Yeah.
You feel for it.
It's good. It's so good. So 16 years the Kings fans waited in Sacramento. They had the longest playoff drought in all 4 of the major American sports. And they finished 3rd. And maybe we can start there as like sort of the series we start to talk about. They're 2-0 up.
Against the defending God
champs,
damn.
Golden State Warriors. And I was saying to Cheech, and I said, okay, we'll talk about it on the pod, but so I wish we did submit our predictions. We're going to talk a little bit about our predictions, but I wish we did submit our predictions beforehand. Because I don't know what you saw. I saw people Warriors in 5.
I've never gone Warriors since the start of the season, so I would have went Kings.
Warriors have got
Really?
I think they're a scam.
Warriors in 5, Warriors in 6, Warriors in 4. I even saw Warriors will like walk through this.
Yep.
And I don't understand because how did the Kings finish 3rd if they're so shit?
Yeah.
You know, I just think there's been a lot of, and we'll talk about many of these series. There's been a lot of overestimating and a lot of underestimating. In this case, overestimating, to be honest, we're going to talk about the Warriors, and also underestimating the Kings. You got to, I know everyone talks about their defense, and they've stepped up their defense, unfortunately, for Golden State. But even just their offense, it's hard. They finished 3rd. They finished 3rd. It's hard to score more points than, one of the greatest offenses ever, which is apparently the Sacramento Kings. I just was so bewildered at seeing all these predictions. And if I did submit my predictions in time, I know it sounds like I'm just cheating now, but the Kings were going to be my pick. It was going to be like Kings in yeah.
You ride Golden State.
I do, and I'm a Golden State lover, but I also love the Kings.
Yeah,
So
I know that.
What was it going to be?
It was going to be the Kings, not in 4 or 5. It was going to be either the Kings in 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah, it was going to be.
Truth?
I promise.
I had Kings 4-2.
I'd anyone but Golden State. I don't believe in them.
And then
For me, it's the away record for Golden State Warriors. It's 11-30 and being that way.
11-30. Was that their
away record?
Oh my god.
yeah,
And then on top of that, Kings has the best away record in the West, 25 and 17.
that's right.
So I was like, bruh, if any, I just wanted to know how Kings would deal with this whole playoff atmosphere. Would it be too emotional? And after seeing game 1, it was like shot for shot, bang for bang.
That was great.
Woo!
The Warriors
That was
just
great.
That was something, man.
Yeah, And the good thing about the Kings is that even though this is De'Aaron Fox's first playoffs, and even though Sabonis, Sabonis isn't Jokic. He is that next tier down, right? Even though he's been to the playoffs before, I know he's the Pacers. Even though Harrison Barnes was what the Warriors shed.
Give him the respect,
and brought in Kevin Durant.
Give him the respect.
That's what he needs to do.
He's still playing, man.
And
He
even-
feels like he's been around for 20 years.
And even though Malik Monk as well,
Malik Monk,
Yep.
great.
like some of these guys, like I understand a lot of people maybe were curious and hesitant to pick the Kings because not knowing how they react when the bright lights. But I don't think these guys. Yeah,
I don't think they're affected by the bright lights.
I don't think that these are the type of guys. Fox is, even though it's his first time going to the playoffs, he seems to be a very steady player, very mature head.
Yep.
Sabonis is that as well. So is Harrison Barnes. And I just think as a
Malik
group.
Monk too.
Yeah, Malik Monk. And I just think as a group, Kevin Huerter has been to the playoffs. He's had some big playoff games, conference finals. As a group, like, this isn't, we'll talk about Cleveland in a second.
Yep.
This isn't like a young team that's like just been thrown together. These are sort of steady, good contributors with a great coach. We can also talk about
Fantastic.
if there's one
Executive
coach.
of the year.
Yeah, if there's one coach that the Warriors probably didn't want to see, it's their ex-assistant coach.
Yep.
Yeah, they are looking as steady as I thought they would. And it's up to the Warriors. If the Warriors are going to beat them, it's up to the Warriors to flex, to turn on the "we are the Warriors."
For me,
Like, but I don't.
the Warriors, even after this game 2, they're laughing like it's casual.
Yeah,
The
no.
Draymond incident,
They're in
still
trouble.
like high-fiving,
They're in
laughing
trouble.
it off. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
And that's what pissed me off about the Heat towards the end of the season. Like, and I was at fault to it. I'm like, oh, we got it. Like, we're just trying to preserve ourselves. That casual, you just can't flick on that switch, man. Can't flick
different.
on that switch.
Piggybacking off what you said about the Kings, I think what works really well, or how I said, is talking about Fox, Sabonis, just that little under-tier player, but I think they're all very, very unselfish. No one wants to...
100%.
Like, there's no one on that team that thinks they're better than the rest of the team.
Yeah.
And that's the vibe I get with all of them. So they all like to play just... They don't care who's scoring.
Yeah.
As long as the ball goes in the hoop and they're winning.
And everyone was concerned about their defense.
Kings defense? Or?
Yeah, defense.
Yeah, I was too.
And like you should be, but they've stepped
As
it
long
up.
as they're moving.
Stepped it up.
These 2 games, they've stepped it up. Like, and Sabonis, it's not. He's not just the only problem, but Sabonis is not a great interior defender, rim protector, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I...
a bit too slow.
But-
His movements.
The Warriors don't
They
go
don't-
in the rim.
They don't
Yeah,
have a
that's
big
what-
guy.
And they were saying, oh, we don't get enough fouls, bro.
They don't go in there.
They
don't have a dominant big, that's why.
Like, yeah, that's right. But like, even like, so Curry goes, but Curry is like Kyrie. Like, he goes and avoids you and gets around you.
Kara's
puts it
better
up.
on the court.
We'll talk about it another time. But they avoid you. Clay doesn't go in. Wiggins doesn't go in. Even Wiggins, he's the wing and he doesn't go in. None of them, they don't go in.
No.
So if Sabonis is the problem because he can't defend the rim, which is he's not the worst, but
They're not
and
attacking
if you don't,
worst.
if you've got
Yeah.
no one, and I don't think they can just say, okay, attack him now because they don't have those guys.
Someone that does it normally.
Maybe
like,
Paul doesn't mind a bit of that, but he's been
Causing
underperforming.
turnovers.
inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's like
That's
all
that
season.
casual that I was saying
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
They've got to be
I
so
think it's just going to
careful.
come.
Yeah.
With this Paul
Only Gary
thing.
Payton playing.
With this Paul thing, like, so last year he was so great, right? And he just came out of nowhere. But if he doesn't actually, like, if that was just a one-hit wonder, like the way they traded away Wiseman and a few other assets, if Paul now doesn't turn out to be on the same trajectory as he was last year, they could be stuffed after this era. That, like, you thought they were going to go from good to good, but if Paul doesn't turn out how they thought he might be, this could be.
I'm smiling because we got this Duncan Robinson situation. So I'm like, look, man.
Just quickly, the Draymond Green thing. We're
Just
gonna
quick,
just
yeah.
mention that. So you said you didn't see many angles.
I caught just one angle where I did see Sabonis like I couldn't tell if that was intentional and I didn't look at it enough, and then I saw Draymond like he stomped on his shit. We also, and as athletes, and we all play sport, have played sport, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
The
Unless
way he
you
did that.
physically cannot see the person, you know exactly what's happening
I-
and how much pressure you're putting, and you could have stepped back.
I actually think
instead,
I think he should get suspended. That's how bad I think
it's
was.
horrible. Yeah, it's horrible.
Like at minimum for one game.
I think the suspension is warranted because of the behaviors afterwards.
Yeah.
I was like, are we doing malice at the
With the
Pelicans?
fans?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah. I think like okay, that was like maybe, and then the afterwards I'm like nah.
And then the cherry on the cake or whatever, the icing on the cake was in his post
game.
I know they're all gonna do this,
Yeah.
but especially him in his post game press conference, they're like, "What happened?" And he's like, "He grabbed my leg." Oh.
And then he was saying, "Oh, they grabbed my leg last game."
You know, it's like sort of pleading
It's
guilty.
like, oh, so I better step on him.
Yeah, it's like pleading guilty in court. You know, you plead guilty, and then you know you get like the better look, you get better vibes. You know, it's like okay, he's remorseful type thing. He's like, yeah, he grabbed my leg, I stepped on him.
He's
So
something else. He's
I
something
don't
else.
know, bro. I think he should get suspended. I don't feel like he will. I've just got this inkling that he won't. I don't know. Suspensions in sport always confuse me because it's
Arbitrary.
it's perception. It's
Okay,
personal. Someone makes the call.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They do have a point system, but I didn't hear anything today like that flagrant 2 racks up his points, he gets suspended. So someone, if they're going to suspend him, someone's going to look at it and make the call.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say. I would suspend him at least for 1 game for that. And I didn't.
And then Golden State lose it. Thanks.
I didn't lodge
They're still gonna lose.
Yeah, I didn't lodge my predictions, admittedly, as I said. But I've got, even with him playing, I've got the Kings now in 5. I think they'll get one. I think they'll get one of the next 2 in San Francisco,
at home.
and then they'll do it at home. And this will just be that series that we just remember that the Warriors sunk. They sunk.
No,
They
that's the
sunk.
end.
I got him not
That's
to win a
the
game. I think that I just think that, and I've said this, and this I love Steph Curry, but I just think you can take away his shooting, and he's not going to do anything. He can't destroy the game like other people. I'm sorry. I know you say he can pass. No, he can't. He's not. They can flood the paint.
I don't know.
Klay Thompson is
Klay Thompson's trash, man.
I like he's maybe good
He's
for
washed.
15
To the
points.
Warriors, to the Warriors' credit, and this is where I think they're going to get one, and I do disagree with you.
Yeah.
In these 2 games, like there was a moment today, I think in the second or third quarter, in both these games, the Warriors don't go away. If the Kings fall asleep, and I think they will, they're going to fall asleep at the wheel in one fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when because the Warriors don't go away. And Steph Curry doesn't go away. This is on one hand, I'll give you a little tiny bit of, yes, he only shoots, and if the lid's on the basket, blah, blah.
Yep.
But he's so reliable. You know how bad Tatum.
Yeah.
If Tatum's lid is on the basket, he can't get it.
can't-
Can't
yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
If Curry's lid is on the basket, he's still giving you, like, I would argue, like, today was a bit like that. 28.
I just
And
don't
I thought that
think
was a bad game.
I just
Yeah.
don't think
Still.
anyone else for Golden State can help Curry.
No, and that's
The problem.
That is
Even
largely true.
Like you
yes.
said, Wiggins is their forward, whatever.
Mm.
The only guy that really goes to the paint, if he even goes to the paint.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah.
they just don't have anyone that can take over.
And I
beside
think
Curry.
a lot of people's predictions maybe were just simply off what we talked about at the start. Are the Kings too new? And the Warriors, they'll do their Warriors thing.
Yeah.
But when you look at the actual play, and this we'll talk about another series soon. Another thing is the whole didn't get enough reps in to this year.
Yep.
I know they know each other, but you can't tell me that Wiggins is out for like a month, plays game
no one would be
game
fine.
1, and then just I don't care. It's not, you can't.
Even LeBron.
He needs a couple of warm-up
LeBron
games.
opened up and said on his own podcast, The Shot, they asked him how much games does it take after injury. He's like 6 games. and he's being honest. Like as a sports player, it's like you feel that you need that momentum.
And just in all ways, even for just one game, for example, Wiggins played well in game 1.
Yeah.
But
Game 2 too, I think.
yeah, and it's not
He looks reserved.
maybe if it's not his performance, but just little things like the teams like schemes and their plays and whatever they're running, it does change.
They look behind.
A little bit.
They look
It
like
does
they're
change
behind.
a little bit, and the reason why they need to be near perfect is because the Kings are a good team. The Kings are a really good offensive team. They're 3rd in the West, and if they step up their defense, they can go far. So, any other thoughts on Kings Warriors?
No, they're
Nah,
just Golden
just
State
a
and Golden
slope.
State.
Golden State. Anyway,
They're gonna crack.
Yeah, we all got the Kings, especially
the
Yeah,
now.
all got the Kings.
I mean, yeah, I
Most
would've had
definitely.
them from the start. I think we all did. Now, what should we talk about next? Let's go to your bullshit. Let's go to your bullshit. All right. Now, this is another one. I was like, yes, Brandon Clark's out. Yes, Steven Adams is out.
Told you.
But,
I've said it since the beginning, have I not?
They've been out the last 3 months.
yes, they're out. But, again, they still got the 2nd seed.
Yep.
And I'm not just saying that because I've just watched the standings. I've watched their games. They're a good team. They're a really, really good team, Memphis.
In the regular season.
Anyway.
They're boys.
Anyway. And I may have, this is where maybe I underestimated the Lakers, but the jury's still out. Ja Morant. Ja Morant, yes, you were beating them or whatever the bullshit is, but Ja Morant gets injured, and now I don't know how because
I don't think he's coming back.
Unlike Giannis, the news on Ja is like he's very doubtful for game 2.
Did you read this? Like, first, did you watch the replay? His fingers like hyper extended
Yeah.
back, and then he couldn't even like undo a softball.
They can't do it without
It's
him.
sad.
They can't beat
It's
you
sad,
without him.
Yeah, and I hate that. That's an excuse.
Because
Nah,
I was going
I
to
hate
say, if I had to lodge my predictions, and everyone was picking the Lakers, same sort of talk, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. I'm like, Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5, Lakers in 4, 6 maybe. I'm like, what? Like, who's 2nd and who's 7th? I know you made all your trades. I
I
would've
think this one
picked-
has to do with matchup.
It does, of course,
Because,
and the
no
injuries.
Steven Adams.
And the injuries,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But even so, I still thought...
They're tall, and after that Wolves game convinced me
I
completely.
still thought that Ja, Desmond Bain, JJJ, Dylan Brooks, I know he's a funny guy, Dylan Brooks and co, I thought that these guys could still do the job. I don't think they can anymore without Ja. But my prediction, if I had to do it before, would have been Memphis in like 5 or 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Who would you have?
Yeah.
Now that Wolves game, I just needed a few more reps.
Yeah.
And after that Wolves game, it convinced me. Like I know it was like kind of bad, you could argue, but I said their length, and that LeBron James at the end.
Thank you.
I was like, wow, I was on the wagon, man.
we got Laker fans.
Nah,
Jump on it.
Just for that
Come to the West, yeah.
But what Memphis had, like, watching them, I don't know. They didn't show me like they were good in clutch moments
They're boys.
that they could really surgically finesse the situation, like Ja Morant. Ja Morant going out during that, that whole not shooting, the gun
That
incident.
little scandal thing.
I wanted him to show me like that he could be a bit smarter. I feel like
maturity.
he's still just running in there.
Yeah.
Sort of like what Ant Edwards is doing at the moment. Just running in there and people are just standing up. And,
It's just
Yeah, he wasn't good. Even before he got injured, he wasn't good.
He's
Yeah,
been
he's
just
not
quickly.
been-
He's
he's not
like
been
a
it.
bit shallow, like when it comes to the big moments. Anthony Edwards.
So
Yeah.
that's why, like, nothing in the regular season, unfortunately, showed me he's him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. When I watched this game,
Okay, so now let's go over to the
Let's
fucking
take the Lakers hat
All right,
off.
All right. So you can't ever take it
No, I
off.
can't
It's in
ever
your
take it
brain.
off.
But okay, now let's talk about why, apart from Ja, you won that game. It's because yes, Reeves and Hachimura
To be honest.
Hachimura.
And
Hachimura.
What did you say
LeBron
last
was-
week or something? So you said something about Hachimura.
I said he wasn't in favour for a while. Yeah. Okay. But I still think that even with the best players ever, Austin Reeves?
Yeah.
Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura and whoever else,
D'Lo,
LeBron, AD.
Vando.
D'Lo isn't.
At the end of the day, you still don't have a top 2 squad in the West. And I think people are jumping it a bit too quick. I don't think that you have a better squad than the Nuggets, or
What about
at
Memphis?
least a better.
I fuck we
Actually,
destroy
maybe
them.
even top 3.
We destroy them on matchups.
If,
Like,
like this, if Memphis are fully healthy, I think they'd beat you easily. Like, let's just get that sorted.
If Memphis were healthy,
I don't
but
think
they
you have a
weren't,
better
so.
better
hate this
team.
excuse.
Better
The fully healthy
Oh,
excuse.
you had it for the last few years. AD's always out. And you're like, if AD was healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
exactly.
said,
If AD's healthy now, bro, he's playing.
You see he injured himself?
yeah. I was like, that's it.
Here we
He
go.
came back
And-
on and he finished the game.
See,
He's-
Lakers are asterisks.
All right, let me
Big,
tell you.
big asterisks.
Let's just tell the fans. All right, juggernauts. We've been talking about juggernauts all season. LeBron. If you watch the full game, you can see LeBron James has revenge on every single one of those Memphis players. I'm telling you right now. He tried and he blocked already, probably 4 of them, I think. He probably blocked the whole starting 5. But the way he blocked he blocked Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bain, the way he blocked them was like, stop talking shit. This is playoffs. This is a man's game. And Memphis just looked like little boys. They just couldn't finish in the clutch. They look like they're just.
Well, yeah, all I'm saying is that, like, with all this Lakers hype and everyone's so hyped about your personnel now, I just think when it comes down to it, it's going to have to be LeBron, AD, and possibly D'Lo.
Yep.
And I'm curious to see how those 3 go up against maybe Phoenix, maybe Denver, maybe Clippers.
Well, I really liked at the end of that last game where LeBron James was basically on the bench.
Yeah.
And it was AR and Rui. And LeBron was like, yeah, this is...
Yeah,
like,
he didn't
I'm
have to
very
take over.
comfortable.
Like the whole game, he didn't ever have to play bully ball. You didn't even ever see him activate playoff LeBron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they,
He
just,
didn't
they
have
just
to.
allowed it to
And
flow.
AD, no one could go to him to the basket one-on-one. I don't know if you obviously you didn't see it properly, but every time Memphis tried to go to him one-on-one, they couldn't. Blocked. Even Jaren Jackson. The only way Jaren Jackson went to the ring against AD was off the ball and was moving already.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson, he's not like the best offensive player.
I'm just trying to say AD is a
He isn't. And congratulations to him. He just won
defensive. Yeah.
He won Defensive Player of the Year.
And-
I
no,
know.
but
I know
he's
he
good
scored.
enough.
He's good.
No,
he's good.
but
He's good.
But no,
Three-point
it's
line,
AD's
man.
presence.
If you give me 10, if you told me 10, like 10 out of 10. Sorry, give me 10 1v1s. AD and Jaren Jackson.
AD saying AD.
If you give me 10 1v1s, I'm giving like 8 of them to AD. Is my point.
Yeah, of
because AD's got offense and defense.
Yeah.
They're both the same size, pretty much. And Jaren Jackson, he's mostly defense.
I know Jaren got
He is.
defense, but when players go up and see AD in the paint, it's like saying Giannis in front of you or something.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, not quite.
Yeah, that's because
Stretch
if
it,
AD
bro.
played all 82, he'd be up there. I'm telling you
I
right now.
didn't
The
see
season
80
he's had.
hyperextend his knee and then come back and demolish everybody.
Giannis is maybe the best defender in the
AD
NBA.
fucking locked up his
All right.
shoulder and then he came back.
So, we all think the Lakers are moving on from here, I assume.
4-2.
Yeah, I would have picked the Grizzlies. Now I picked the Lakers in like whatever. I picked the Lakers.
4-2.
Keep doubting
My
us.
predictions are done before. By the way, I want to.
When we make it,
yeah.
when we make it through, doubt us again against the next team, and then we'll see.
And you know what? I
after.
will.
I know
I
you
will
will because
happily
you've been
will.
doing it all season.
I will doubt you again
You doubted
because
us last week. You doubted
so
Rui.
it'll be against the Kings,
and he
right?
showed you. You
it'll
woke
be,
up.
It'll be against
You
the
doubted
Kings.
Wenyan, and then he woke you up.
No, I didn't.
Remember that game? You're giving shit to Wenyan, and then
Yeah.
he woke you up at the live. You gave shit to Rui last week and he woke
Yes,
you up.
Nate, you better stop.
You
talking,
better
man.
stop.
I'm happy doing it.
LeBron's coming for you
Because
next.
even you're
Kings.
talking. You were talking about the charge situation. Now we've got 10,000 people injured with the charge situation. You're really
Half
out here
injuries.
commentator curse, man.
Someone needs to turn off the injuries.
No,
like,
and there's also people now like
God.
talking about should the charge be banned.
Nah,
like
but-
I say, like I say.
No,
That
but
was-
then they backtrack and they're like, "There's too many offensive tools." And even on Reddit, after that whole conversation, there was a post like maybe 1 day or 2 days after. They said like when somebody's actually in the proper defensive position, they never get the call. Never.
Yeah,
never.
I know. So we had this discussion on the
charge
live.
Is all about showing the rep.
But
That's like the
yeah.
intent. But I understand.
Yeah, and I understand your side, everyone your side as well. There is too many. If without charges, the game is pure offense. Like there's no defense. Nearly.
My solution is just not calling it. If your hands are up, right?
Yeah.
And even if there's contact,
That's
as
right.
long as your hands are vertical,
Don't call it
don't
either
call
way.
anything.
Yeah.
If you don't
That's-
call it either way, that's how it should
and
work.
maybe the key, like, is the restrictive, like, you know how they have the like, unrestricted
Yeah,
area?
the restricted
outside of
area.
there,
The
okay.
key is the whole like unrestricted area and hands just up. I don't care how much contact it is, but if the hands are parallel,
Yeah.
then
That's
we're
what needs to happen. But anyway, we'll talk about it
Solve it.
maybe later today,
Hate looking at this.
maybe next week. I just think, and I don't just think this about Lakers. I'll talk about another team. I think people are just hyping the Lakers up way too much.
Yeah, no, I don't have them going
Even
deep.
the betting
I don't have
odds.
them going deep.
You know the Lakers have better betting odds to win the championship than the Sixers now.
Damn.
Fucking ridiculous.
How about Bucks? How about Bucks?
Still
high,
Oh,
even after the injury.
actually no. Sorry, Boston number one now.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Because they blew out.
What I saw
Because they beat up
yesterday.
Atlanta. That's why.
Yeah, because of this bullshit. Maybe the Lakers are higher because of what I was trying to tell you on the live. You got the Wiggles in front of you. That's what you got. You got no one in front of you.
Here we go.
We've got the Bucks
So
and-
we were
Bucks
when
and
we were a
Celtics.
12th seed. All these Wiggles were away. They weren't the Wiggles when we were the 12th seed. But now that we're up there, we're versing all the Wiggles.
They were still the Wiggles. But you were just worse than them.
Yeah.
You were just worse than the Wiggles.
When we were 12th seed, we were the worst team. We had no hope, and we're just. All right.
All right.
I'm not even saying anything.
We'll maybe
We'll
talk
watch
about it
it.
later today, or maybe next week. We'll talk about the Lakers' next opponent. Who knows? Memphis and Desmond Bain might still pull it out from here, but doubt it. Too many injuries. The poor Grizzlies. I still say the poor Grizzlies because too many injuries. Next
Lakers.
series we are going to talk about will be the. Do you want to just quickly touch on Miami, Milwaukee?
Just touch.
Just
Yeah.
let's touch it.
So I don't know if you heard, Milwaukee are like the best, and they hosted Miami 1v8, and Giannis Antetokounmpo fell and hurt his back after like 11 minutes, I think it was, something like
Was
that.
it that
in the
early?
game.
I didn't even
Early in
catch
the
it.
game.
Something like that.
Goddamn.
11 minutes, fell and hurt his back, did not return. And also, after 20 minutes, Tyler Hero broke his hand. And then
Hey,
he
Goat! It did Mamba mentality, man.
And then
Well, what did he do? Did
he
he
hit a
stay on?
three. He hit a
hit
three.
a three
fuck
with
out.
a broken
So he's holding his
hand.
hand like this, holding his hand like this, like this. He's like, he's crouching over, but he's still in play. He's in the corner, so they throw it to him, and he catches it.
throws
Three.
it, and then he starts crying again.
And then he's like,
But the pain was much worse.
Yeah.
Obviously,
After that.
did they stop the game? Or did he play defense and or just
Nah,
quickly
nah,
foul?
straight away, I
nah.
think.
Yeah, I thought, I think
He
so.
hit the three.
Yeah, he hit the
Give,
three.
give him credit.
That was mad.
Maybe he's playing next game.
Nah, bro.
Kobe.
Nah, he was in so
He'll
much
be feeling
pain.
it. He'll be feeling it.
And
would've, yeah.
That was
when
the
you-
last
when
bit of adrenaline.
When you touch that leather ball, that's what happens.
Anyway, like the hero thing, we discussed
yeah.
it at the start. The hero thing, Giannis. There's the Athletic reports that there's optimism. Giannis will be good for game 2. I was saying to you off the pod, I reckon they don't even have to play Giannis game 2. Keep Giannis out as much as like maybe even game 3. Wow. They can sweep.
No,
Say
you
you're
can't
up.
get comfortable.
Say you're up 3-0.
No, Jimmy's
The
Jimmy's
Milwaukee
dangerous.
Bucks, if you're up 3-0 and Giannis is back for game 4, the Milwaukee Bucks, especially with Hero out, can sweep you from 3-0 down.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And that's because they've given Giannis enough rest to be able to get back to his normal self.
I wouldn't play him next game. If he
I'm
has a problem,
nervous about
if
that.
he has a
I'm
problem,
nervous.
I wouldn't play him.
I'm
Like
nervous.
if he's gonna play through pain type thing, or they say it would be better if he doesn't play, I wouldn't play him. I think they can beat you without Giannis,
Because everybody else looks
especially at home. This is the thing why they, should be the favorite. Like Brook Lopez, the season he's had, Drew,
So yeah.
Chris Middleton is still finding his form, but
They
like
got pieces.
they've got arguably
Jingles.
the most set up squad. Bobby Portis,
Yeah,
Nearly 6 man of the year. They go.
nearly 6 man of the year. Too many guys.
Jingles, Joe Ingles.
But they should
love him.
Yeah, like maybe even start Giannis on the bench, or just leave him.
I just think with playoffs,
Nah, not off the bench. I feel like they'll be to reserve.
you go
off
or
the
you don't
bench. Yeah.
with playoffs. As in
Yeah.
like, he's either gonna, I don't know. You go or you don't.
Interesting.
It's either so bad you can't play, or it's like, you know what, this is gonna hurt, but I got to do it.
Get in there.
You know.
But
Kobe.
Another way would be like, let's sweep these guys. Well, they can't sweep them. But,
Yeah, they can't.
but like because I feel like the next series is going to be a long series. So if they can just sweep them real quick
It is
and
going to be
then
interesting.
rest.
Well, talking about that, the next series they'll be playing either Cleveland or the Knicks,
Oh.
who won
Spicy
their first. I've forgotten it, but I know it wasn't this century. The Knicks won their first opening road playoff game this century. I don't know the exact year in the 1900s. In the 1900s, it was. Yeah. But it was. They hadn't won a game one on the road
Yep.
this century. I think to open the playoffs, I think is the main way to say it. To open the
first
playoffs.
round.
Wow. The Knicks.
Did you just watch
Brunson.
that game? Did you just
Yeah.
catch like live?
Yeah.
Like all the way to the end?
Yeah.
God. Brunson. Luke is
Brunson,
probably just like
man.
crying.
The Knicks, Tibbs, Randall
Julius
was
Randle.
supposed to be injured.
He played good as well. He started great.
And the thing is, he keeps passing the ball. Maybe he should be injured all the time because he's not overly aggressive.
But he might be a bit too thick for Evan Mobley.
Oh yeah,
Evan Mobley,
was
Yeah,
skinny.
yeah. It's
a
I was
bit too skinny for him.
And I was like, this Mobley for Defensive Player of the Year, bro? Seriously. And I was like, man, there was some pick and roll players. They were just driving into the hoop. I'm like, bro, Mobley, where are you? That Cavs. That's why, if anybody wants to put Cavs for Executive of the Year, they still haven't figured out, like, they don't have enough depth. But I initially had them.
So did I.
And I had it as a
I've got
4-3.
Cavs. I've still got Cavs.
But
I
they need to
back
really
Cavs?
make serious adjustment.
I think
They
I
need to
did.
get what's his point guard's name again?
Garland.
They really need to get him involved.
Yeah.
It was a Mitchell show.
That's right.
But Garland is more gets everybody kind of involved. I really didn't like that. Like I get Mitchell is Mitchell,
Yeah.
but I didn't really like.
And
it
they
was
need
an
to make
isolation
sure,
game.
and I feel like they've
That's
struggled.
how they're playing.
I feel like all season, Karis LeVert has been not much.
Yeah.
And they need to make sure that he's helping, because talking about helping out, Garland helping out, Emmanuel quickly didn't even make a field goal. Who's their other guy?
Quentin Grimes defended.
There was
Donovan
someone
Mitchell
else that
pretty
didn't
good.
play that well.
Towards
The
the end.
gist is the Knicks have more.
Barrett.
more for
It's
it.
Barrett. Barrett
Barrett.
didn't play well. Like if you quickly and Barrett didn't even play well, and they won on
They
the road.
won. And
So-
Brunson barely played any minutes too.
Yeah, I still got the Cavs. I just think
I want to switch.
I think the Knicks are capable of a bit of an off game as well. That's that these two teams are. I reckon it's going to go to 7, and I think the Cavs
I
are going
think
to
I
win.
put it. I just
in
checked.
7.
I put it to 7. I switched the Knicks.
And I think like if it wasn't Donovan Mitchell's like, I mean, he's that guy.
yeah,
He's
exactly.
that
Well,
guy.
I don't know anymore.
If it wasn't Donovan Mitchell, and if it wasn't Jalen Brunson, they're actually in some ways they're so similar, these two teams. Like if it wasn't them, maybe I would be like, oh, I don't know if that guy can just wheel them to 7 or wheel them to the win. But I think that the Knicks are also capable of an off game. I know that the Madison Square Garden's going to be rocking,
Oh.
but I don't know. Something Mitchell can.
I think it's
carry.
gonna go. I feel like Mitchell's gonna go for 40 next game.
Yeah, Mobley, Garland, and all that. They'll turn it up a bit.
Well, they have to really change their
Have to,
strategy
yeah.
because that initial strategy did not get anybody else involved. It
That's
was
such
like
a
Mitchell.
Did you see they'd go to Mobley, he'd drive down the middle, and then Allen would be sitting on the low block. And the Mobley just kept missing layups. I kept watching down the middle.
Okay,
But
yeah.
normally when they play that, Allen would step up and then he'd like pocket pass to him.
Yeah, those
But
two.
they were defending that well, but Mobley wasn't finishing at all.
Yeah.
I know
the Knicks
that
had
for-
like a perfect game almost. The Knicks just their game plan.
Really?
No, as in like in terms of like
Passing and
in terms of just annoying the Cavs and just getting in their space.
Always there.
And this is where the
They
whole
had more grit.
the Tibbs thing, like the Tibbs sent them out there to do something in terms of. I'm just mainly talking defense. Both offenses were a bit weird, but defense, the Knicks went out there and grit's a great word. They just sort of showed their teeth and they're like, if you guys aren't going to be ready for this, we're going to
taking it.
We're going to win
We're gonna
today.
take it,
And
yeah.
Brunson's just
Man.
like
Man.
Mitchell. Brunson just he's not agitated. He's just so calm.
But those mid ranges, like whether it's he's got their back and then he's rolling, or the step, the mid range, like tear dropping, it's just so like it doesn't bother
And
him.
Josh Hart, what a pickup.
Josh Hart, come on.
The offensive rebounds, and he's not even like big. Like
He's getting
Joel doesn't even rebound like that. It hurts me.
Great.
He
He's
saved
great.
so many possessions. He
So
saved so many possessions.
It's fun. It's cool, and it's nice knowing that this whole Donovan Mitchell in the previous offseason, like the Knicks didn't give up all their assets. If they win this series, they look like big brains. They're like, not only did we not trade everything for Donovan Mitchell and we got Jalen Brunson, the Mavs are stupid. We have all our assets still. We can
And they could go for Mitchell when he's contract expires. Imagine that.
That would be-
Imagine that.
God.
But I think it's like 2-3 years away.
Brunson and Mitchell.
So yeah, it'll be a while away,
Frontcourt.
but man.
Backcourt.
Anyway, the Knicks looked good. The Knicks looked like they wanted it more. They were just. It's not just playing harder, but playing smarter. Just getting in underneath these big guys. Admittedly, Mitchell did well, but
Brunson came in clutch. I'm just gonna say it.
I-
Just he.
I'm overreacting. Nick's got this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. Either way.
yeah, you know how I was like, oh, people are, being too like, oh, the Warriors will do what Warriors do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, people being too over the top with that. We don't know that the Warriors can do it again. I'm going to flip myself here. I can see the Knicks doing what the Knicks do. Like, not this year's Knicks. I can see the Knicks shitting the bed. I can see it.
Knicks have 24-17 away record. That's like just below 25-17. 16 for
Interesting.
Philly.
Wow.
Cavs are like basically 500. Below 500 even.
Yeah, but even just at home, I can see the Knicks shitting the bed at home.
I can see Cavs shitting the bed more.
I can see it.
Because,
I can
like,
just-
I just said
I
ISO
expected
ball, like
them
you
to
said.
be much higher. Like,
Yeah.
I expected them to be like tier 1 and at least nipping. And they just like, bro, we're just going to be in no man's land.
Yeah.
And Knicks have that momentum of the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man,
the Cavs don't
It's
look
gonna be like a
ready.
Raptors situation.
All right.
They're there, but
Now-
they're not there. You know, they're not third. They're maybe fourth on like.
Now, just finishing off the two places in the East, the two other series in the East. Philly are up 2-0 on Brooklyn. I'm sure by this time tomorrow, Boston will be 2-0 up on Atlanta. There's nothing to talk about there.
4-0.
I've
what-
got
yeah.
4-0
Actually, yeah.
for both.
Yep.
I expect if it's one person to drop a game, it's 76ers.
Yes.
I thought they were gonna drop it today at half.
Yeah, I was
Kind of
looking. I was like,
halftime,
Yeah,
Oh, God.
and that what happened today is a good summary of how we probably will beat them either in 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
Is because so they're blitzing Embiid. Don't
I say that.
don't bet on Embiid points because they're
I
blitzing
seen that.
Embiid.
Like everyone, as
they're
soon as
just blitzing
before the
him.
ball even gets to him,
And in
They're blitzing him.
in the first game,
legit.
both games, but more so in the first game, and this is where he's really improved.
He sees
Just
the
passing it
doubles.
out of reading the double team, passing it out of it so quick. We made the most threes we've ever made in a playoff game in game 1.
D-Mel.
Dean Mel.
And that was
Dean Mel.
without Harden today too. Like,
And
ran,
Harden wasn't
8 points.
Yeah, Harden didn't do his thing today, and they put up a bit of a zone, which annoyed us. I think we did as well. But
Yeah,
we do have a zone buster. Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
I mean, Harden's shooting will bust it, but if Harden's...
He's just a great slasher. He's such a great slasher.
Whatever. Yeah, and Maxey just went nuts today.
Yeah.
And Tobias, 20 points in both games.
Shot.
What?
Nathan?
Like, I'm not going to be...
Give him that max.
I'm not going to get overexcited or whatever.
Give him the max again.
Never again. I'm not going to get overexcited, but wow. Yeah.
Keep playing, Tobias.
If Harden and Embiid are immobilized in their own way, yeah, it'd be nice if Tobias and Maxey step up, because then we might be a little
Sounds
bit...
like a Rui and AR
a
thing.
little
over
bit
here.
ruin. If Tobias and Maxey step up like this every game, I might be a bit more confident about our chances. But yeah, I don't think they've got much for us, and I'd say it's almost exactly the same sort of circumstances with Atlanta versus Boston. Atlanta might fluke a game in Atlanta, but not really.
Boston would just stick to what they do, pass it around, drive, dish.
No, I was just wondering.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long Trey will stay a Hawk, but
Yeah,
Depends how they end
we'll
the
talk
series,
about
I think.
we'll talk about it this.
I'm just
off
waiting
season.
for... It probably won't be this series. I'm waiting for the classic Doc Rivers choke. I'm waiting for
we'll
the
see.
Doc Rivers
We'll see.
choke.
I don't
We'll
know.
see.
I
Fire
make
Doc.
it more of a Harden situation choke. or
Yeah,
an
I
Embiid
think it's
choke.
more likely to be Harden.
I hope it's
I mean,
more the player than the coach.
Touch wood. I hope that Embiid goes
Good
full
luck, that's
injury
not wood.
free. It is wood.
Okay.
Goes full injury free. Embiid. I think actually Doc. So he doesn't like to make adjustments. I didn't want to talk too much about the Sixers, but here we are. He doesn't like to make adjustments. That's what stuffs him up. However, like the unit that he's put together is the right unit.
Yep.
So
There's no adjusting from that.
I'm just happy that, for example, Montrez isn't the backup center. No one had faith that he was going to change that, but he did. Paul Reed's amazing. It's more Harden that I'm worried about. Harden's playoff choking. That's the next round against the Boston and Philly series. 4-0. That's like fucking Boston.
And you just go up
And
again.
then we're going up.
Yeah. Poor both of you. Like both of you.
No, they deserve it. They're not first. They're not the first seed. So
No,
Yeah.
that's
Whole
right.
bunch of
Actually,
stuff.
you'd rather verse both of you than Milwaukee, anyways. So
No, I'd rather versus Milwaukee.
yeah,
What?
he was telling me that. He was telling
No,
me
bro,
that.
because
Boston aren't big enough
bro,
for you.
no, but it's
You
but
wanna get
it's yes. Boston aren't big enough,
The match.
but we're not small enough.
Yeah.
They're and this is actually, again, we're talking too much about Sixers, but this series against Brooklyn is a little bit of a nice warm up because it's just so many wings. That's what Boston are. Wings. Everyone's a wings except Horford and maybe Rob Williams. The Bucks, we can sort of go
toe to toe.
with similar sizes.
Yeah, I get that.
It's a boxing, real
Yeah.
legitimate heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, but
You and
if
Boston,
the
two
Celtics
different
make
teams.
all their threes next round against us, we're fucked. We're gone.
I
I mean, against every team. Look at what they did to the Bucks recently. They were beat them by 40 points. If the Celtics make all their threes, I will say it right now, they'll win the
and
championship.
Celtics have better defense too.
They'll win the
Like it's
championship.
not like
Yes.
this Brooklyn that you guys are facing. They have
No,
zero defense.
It's nowhere near the
Yeah,
same. It's just a little bit of a nice warm up. But if Celtics, if the lid's not on the basket, they will win the championship. It's just about it's just about hopefully Embiid does his thing and Boston are missing a few shots. That's it. And the Bucks will be the same. They'll tell you the same thing. We hope that Giannis gets his stuff and that Boston miss. Because if Boston make their shots, I actually think, I don't want to get all old head here, but I think Boston is what's wrong with the game.
Not Golden State. Golden State's had their time.
Nah, because Golden State, even when they were doing
they're
their,
too small.
their
They're
bombing,
not Boston.
their bombing aways, and yes, I do hate Boston. I guess that comes into play. But Golden State didn't live and die by the three. And I guess it comes back to what I said about Curry before.
Yep.
He's also very reliable. You know what I mean? That maybe that Houston team, but now especially is this Boston team. They can go
And they're
from,
long. They're like
yeah, they can
they're
go
kinda
from
long.
They can go from like losing to Washington. You know, Zach Lowe on his ESPN podcast. How did Boston lose to Washington the other day? They just beat Milwaukee by 40. It's because they live and die by the three. And we're more, and the three is actually too valuable. This is a whole nother rabbit hole. But
Nate's fixing the
they are what's wrong with the game.
charges and threes.
That's right. They are what's the three's too valuable, and more teams. We look at Wemby, we look at Chet Holmgren. We're gonna just see 50 KDs on every squad, and no one's gonna go inside anymore because it's not valuable enough. For fuck me. Anyway, can you tell I don't like Boston and I'm dreading facing them again? If they beat us again, I'll probably cry. I can't take this.
they
again.
really beat you last. They swept you.
I'm sure I've
Remember?
said this on the podcast before, but Boston and Philly have met 21 times in the playoffs. The next one down, I forgot who it is, but it's 14 times. We have met 7 more times more than anyone else has ever met.
Soon to be 8.
Soon to be 22.
Oh, 22.
22. Boston and Philly just always fuck, and we always lose. They've beaten us 14 out of the 21 times. We've only beaten them 7 times in our whole fucking playoff history. That's too long on Philly and Boston. Can you tell that I'm fucking dreading it? I am dreading it.
it.
I am
can
dreading
feel
this
it.
series next series. I'm going to be a mess. I hate Tatum. Whatever.
Catch our live stream.
Well, yeah, one of them will be
weekends,
on the weekends. and-
Weekends, we're gonna be live streaming.
Oh.
Nathan's sweating.
Okay, so there's only... So quickly, not last thing, we'll touch on Denver, Minnesota, and then we'll talk about Phoenix versus Clippers. I just want to say also, I think Denver, for me, just like, no matter what, are like 4 or 5 this series. Like winning in 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I know you said off the pod that disappointed in Minnesota. I know a lot of people are ready to pick on Denver, and I should be as an Embiid fan, but they are the first seed for a reason. They're fucking great.
First seed, but also a team that's played together for a long time, and you see that with the Kings today as well.
Yeah.
Played like they've been injury free, and they've played together for a long time.
All the
and all that
reps.
synergy. We saw that in Game 1. Everybody moving the basketball. So, like, all of their play, I don't know, like 7 players, it felt like 15 points or so. So I was
Yeah.
like, bro,
And
this Nuggets team
and
really
Jokic didn't
lighting it
even
up.
have to do, especially on the scoring end, he didn't have to do much.
Yeah, it was
and the
just
thing is,
chilling.
and while they can blitz him, whatever, he'll pass out of it. They've got nothing for Jokic.
Yeah,
Even-
yeah.
that-
They got
that
nothing.
funny quote from last season of the 2021.
Oh,
When,
when Jokic and wait, who's they versing?
Go back. There's this funny quote.
Like I'm cooking you. Like I got
No,
40,
no.
bro, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Gobert's like,
Oh,
he's like, I got him. I got him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, bro, I've got 47.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine Jokic saying that to you. Like you'd be like, oh yeah, this guy does.
Because
Yeah.
Jokic doesn't talk too much, isn't it?
Gobert and Kat don't have anything for Jokic.
But that was a nice block at the end on Jokic.
yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
Like, I know there was just one play.
But I
was
reckon
like, wow.
what I'm even getting at is like the Nuggets are not even out of
They're too
first
strong.
gear. They're not even out of
I
first
saw
gear.
Aaron
either.
Gordon run over. I don't know who he ran over at the start, but just ran this guy over in the paint, fell like a sack of potatoes, and then just threw it down. And
Yeah.
after I saw that play, I'm like, all right,
So-
they look way too
Nuggets.
dominant. Yeah.
Unfortunately, nice story, Timberwolves. You needed everyone. You needed Nas Reed. You needed Jaden.
so happy.
You needed
Just to be
McDaniels.
competitive.
Just to have a chance. Denver's offense is too good. It's just too good, and Jokic is too good for them, so they'll cruise. But this might be the most interesting series other than the Knicks.
Oh!
And the Cavs,
Hopefully,
the
no injuries
Suns,
going
and
ahead,
the
but
Clippers.
Nah!
Yes.
Whoa!
What a game!
What a game!
Who expected that?
The best. You wanna say it?
Well, no,
The best 3 and 19.
the best 3 of 19 ever.
Oh,
Russell
man.
Westbrook went 3 of 19.
Give him the respect. Give it to him,
Let
Nath.
me just
Give it to him.
I
Give him his
I even
flowers.
need to give him the respect.
Yeah.
I'm
Give him his flowers.
totally Like, bro, you would not believe how much of a Westbrook fan I was.
Were you
And
like?
seriously, a Westbrook fan since, like, OKC.
Yep.
days.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
he was.
100%. And
I used to
the
fight with him.
Tomahawk,
Yeah,
Westy,
yeah.
down the middle.
I used to fight with him all the time.
And I am just completely off, man. I can't even look at the guy. I'm like,
But
showed up
now,
today.
and we talked about this a little bit when they first got him.
Yep.
I think he's perfect for the Clippers
Yeah.
because they need exactly even the mess that he is. They need that mess.
The persona.
They're I think part of their hollowness. What are you gonna say?
because it reminds me of that conversation we had where you're like, Paul George was like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
They were so passive.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Westbrook
yeah.
is like, he's like a tsunami of like, again, mess. Could be good, could be bad. But if you let him, and this is what he's talked about, like, they're letting me be me. And, I mean, that's going to help you be more happy on the court. Defensively, he was amazing for the Clippers. Yesterday it was against the Suns. In general, that's the worst shooting game he's pretty much had for the Clippers so far. He's been actually shooting all right. But in general, he's just the grit, the active, player that's also a leader. I think as much as I also love Pat Bev, I know you do, it's one thing to be in the back. He's like, 'cause he's the sixth best player. It gets a bit like drowned out. He was on your team.
yeah,
It gets a bit drowned
And
out.
he hated that situation.
Yeah. But Westbrook really is one of the three main guys with PG. He's got a voice.
Yeah.
And he's like, just whatever, let's just attack the game. That's what I disliked about him for most of his career, and I still do a little bit. But when it fits, it fits. And he
You know
fits on
what?
that team.
He's never changed, and I feel like he takes all the controversy, whatever, the same way every single day. Like, you got Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. People might question Paul George. He might give them a bit of his emotion, how he's feeling. I feel like Westbrook is just... He doesn't care about anyone or anything or what they think about the Clippers or him. And he, like everyone says, he just goes out and plays hard.
Yep.
Like, he just shows it.
One thing that is different about this Westbrook is not necessarily Westbrook himself, but because he's cheaper, he's like on this vet min contract. So his mistakes can be covered by players by that.
And
Yeah.
Actually
again,
have Whereas he was so expensive that he had no other players to fall back on.
That's right.
And that
Good point.
concentration of
Yeah.
hyper focus of Westbrook, you have to perform to this 50 million or 40 million,
their
price tag.
standard.
So that's what's really helped.
Yep.
Because I don't know what they're going to pay him next year, if they're going to pay him. But, if they have to cut the roster back, it's going to be a sketchy situation.
And talking about that sort of thing in this team, the Clippers, I sent you
Deep.
guys, who did the Nuggets, was it the Nuggets? The Suns played the Nuggets, and I sent you a screenshot of the box score towards the end of the season. And all KD, Chris Paul, Booker, whatever, they all played tons of minutes. And they just beat the Nuggets,
that was a
like
couple-
the
couple
Nuggets
weeks ago.
second stringers or third stringers, something like that.
That's right.
And this is what I wanted to say coming into this. And I just couldn't believe everyone's, again, overestimating and underestimating. I know that PG is out, but the Suns have played, before game one, they played 8 games together with KD. 8. You know what I mean? 8 games.
I still don't know his spot.
And they weren't even all good, like, against great opponents. 8 games. If they win this championship, it would be, I'm sure it would got to be unprecedented in terms of, like, we talked about reps, teams reps together. I know it's Kevin Durant. I know it's Devin Booker, but I just, you know what? And I'm not normally like this. I'm like, I want to see the best talent win. I don't. Not only am I hesitant about picking them, I don't want them to win.
I don't want them to
because
win.
if they fucking go and win this championship,
It's
what
slap
is
in the
what
face.
tone does that send? What tone does that
What
set
has Denver
for,
done
like,
this whole time? It's like, what's the
you
point?
know, what tone does that set for, like, I don't know, like, you can just put together a team for 8 games of the regular season and they can go and win the championship just because they're just because you get Kevin Durant. Anyway, but I don't think they will. Look into my picks. People picking them to win the championship. People are like, oh, they'll kill this Clippers team. No PJ, blah, blah. What's the biggest thing that they're lacking other than reps?
Defense.
Depth.
Oh, depth, yeah.
They've got
Depth, yeah.
no depth. They've
Like
got
when
zero.
Chris Paul's gone, like I'm like, bro.
Kevin,
And then Kevin Durant out. I'm like, bro.
Game one,
Is Cameron
50. No, he wasn't in for this game. He was out.
And Josh Okogie, they didn't put him back in
No,
the
yeah.
last.
Kevin Durant, 50-year-old Kevin Durant, played 45 minutes in a home game one. Loss. What is with why was everyone overestimating this
Finally,
team?
Kawhi Leonard.
I don't care if I look like so stupid if they come out and kill them from here because I don't think they will. They've only got like the 4 guys. They've got the 4, maybe 5 guys. 45 minutes. That's 3 minutes off the total in game one, and they lost. Devin Booker played 43. What? What do they have to do next game? They no bench? As in, I just think people were overestimating this series and underestimating the Clippers. What are the Clippers' biggest strength? Depth. They've just got a million guys.
Yeah.
And they played together
and
relatively.
Norman Powell.
And they've started to...
What a man.
Unlike the last 2-3 years, they've committed to actually playing a center because they were doing that thing with Zubats for 5 minutes and then they just play a small ball. They've committed to Zubats and Plumlee. So they...
well, because Aiton's like not him.
Yeah. But even
And
towards
he's
the
just
end
not that guy
the end of the season, they committed... They're doing centers. The
And-
Clippers.
And also to the Suns, talking about reps, like they were playing at one point. It was just Chris Paul and Aiden, and Booker and KD were just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They haven't figured out any kind of rotation
Yeah.
strategy,
Yeah.
and they're trying to still keep like, bro, is Aiden really gonna try and give you like points
Yeah.
up? Just give it to the more efficient guy, man.
The
Don't waste your
way-
plays. Just,
yeah.
you're right. You're right.
And the way,
It's a playoffs.
and also, obviously, also defense is a problem. The Clippers are good defenders. They've got depth. They've just got all these guys running at you. Kevin Durant was a bit sort of shut down towards the end there. Chris Paul didn't really do much.
Booker as well. I was like, Booker, you're about to show me you're him. Like,
Yeah.
how many years have I said Booker's like trash? But I said, okay, look, you've had so many trials and error, and then you just get demolished in the last 5 minutes by Westbrook. I was like, wow.
I am stunned about I don't know, man. I will be honest. Say I did lodge my predictions before this all started. If I had chosen Suns, it was because I was so influenced by what everyone else was saying. But I was sitting there thinking, I really want to say Clippers, even without PG. And now,
So yeah, what do you have?
I don't know what I would have done before it, but now I've got Clippers.
Yeah, well, I'd done mine before. I had Suns 4-3. I thought it was going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
And I thought Suns will need reps, and then Suns will figure out something. I needed Paul George to be back.
And and I can understand that, and maybe I would have picked the Suns as well. The other thing about it is, as I said, Kevin Durant, 70 years old, Chris Paul, 90.
90.
Is
Devin Booker.
Chris
pension.
Paul going to hold up? Is Chris Paul going to hold up? Is KD going to hold up? Because if one of them go, no, sorry. If KD gets an injury for even 2 games, loss.
Yeah.
No matter who they're playing, if he gets,
Because they have no
he's
backup.
out for 2 games or can't even barely walk, that's it. Loss. Those 2 games.
Ryan, your prediction?
I now put Clippers in 7, but personally, I like the underdog. I've been saying a good friend Matty B. I'm rooting for the Clippers. I'm I want to see I want to say the Suns lose. That's why I want to say Golden State lose. Same thing. It's just I don't want to say someone just walk into the finals. I want to say the underdog, get him and show them who they are. And Kawhi Leonard, like at the start of the season,
I didn't even mention him yet.
I had Kawhi Leonard. Like I wanted to put him the best player, but because of his availability, I can't. I'll put KD there. But then Kawhi Leonard, like he's
42 minutes.
Really distributed.
42 minutes. He's here.
He's really
38
like the guy.
points. 13 to 24.
And he's guarding K. I love
I have
seeing
to
that
shout
matchup.
out to one of my guys. He's always been going on the claw, the claw. He loves it, man. So shout out to Josh. He loves the claw. He's saying championship or bust, and he's loving it.
I
gonna do it.
also love Kawhi. I love him so much. Yeah, and his defense, man.
Oh, man.
And they,
He's the only one that would probably be able to guard KD. Even Matty B was saying, he's like, out of all the people, Kawhi Leonard's probably the most lengthy and built. Like, KD can't push Kawhi Leonard around.
Yeah. Well, Russell Westbrook did it. Held them to 25% or something?
Yeah.
They only made
He
6
defended.
shots.
He defended KD, Booker, and Westbrook. It was either out of 50-something possessions or 70.
Chris Paul.
And Chris Paul. It was either 50 or 70 possessions. One of those. And held them to...
6 field goals, 25%.
That's fucking crazy.
unbelievable. It's
We should have factored that in, right? That synergy of Westbrook hating those guys so much. Well, hey, but can we say bring out the competitive spirit if we don't want to fall into the
That's
media,
what I think about
yeah.
the Lakers Memphis. It's just revenge. Let them know who they really are.
So I'm happy because of, as I said, like I don't know. We'll see where it goes from here, man. But the Suns,
To cheat.
I don't know.
No one wanted to see Golden State win when they got KD. I'm sorry, I didn't.
But it's not just a cheat. It's also like, I don't know.
Reward the team that's been playing
If
together.
they were to, they like, and the way people were just picking them to just win so easily, they were never gonna be able to just win so easily. Like, they have things to work out. They have injuries to worry about. The Clippers have got the exact things they don't, which is depth and like defense. Like, and even next round, if the Suns have to play, like, for example, it's the
Denver.
It'd be tough for the Suns to beat
That'll
that
be tough.
team.
I say, like, even when we go further,
They're built.
I'm like, bro, there's no way they can survive in that high altitude. Those old guys.
Yeah.
No
The
way.
cheating
With
high altitude.
with the thin roster as well. I
Yeah.
said no way.
It's
It's a wrap.
Like, what are you gonna do if Denver's playing their best, as you said? What are they gonna do? Play KD 48 a night?
I don't know who's going to guard Jokic as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Aiden just isn't.
I don't
he's
believe
not
in
it.
him one
He's
little
not
bit.
it.
Yeah. It's good for about 4 points a game.
But centers are really hard to come by in the NBA. So you're like, hey, we just live with
He's
what
just
we got.
not a. He's not a.
I'd rather Zubac over Aiden.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but Zubac is a beast.
that's what Aiden's
He's a
not.
wrecking
He's
ball.
not a beast.
Yeah, he's not a beast. He's not a wrecking ball. He doesn't knock people over.
He just
he's not
always
he's not
looking
scary.
for the turnaround jumper like Joel, but
Yeah.
then he's not Joel.
It's easy to guard that. You want your guy to shoot that.
Yeah,
Even
day.
like in local, you love saying that. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll guard
I said,
this.
you're
all the
scared of
time.
me, really? I love it.
Keep shooting it.
Well, I think we'll leave our further predictions for another time. Yeah, but we might. Maybe we'll put them somewhere or something like that, and just that way you can see that Chi especially picked things from the start. But we'll talk about the predictions as they go. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it, boys. I think by next week. So yeah, by next week, we might be starting a couple second series. Probably Philly Boston will be the first one to start. Lakers. Well, if the Kings, I don't know.
What's your most exciting series for this round one? Out of curiosity.
For this series, for this round,
Yeah.
out of everything we just talked about,
Yeah.
most exciting. Oh God, but it's obviously between Cavs, Knicks, Kings, Warriors, and Phoenix Clippers.
That's a
If the
so
Warriors,
stacked.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, it changes.
I love them all.
If the Warriors destroy the Kings in Game 3,
Oh my god! It becomes a new series.
I'm gonna be like, oh well, fuck. What now?
Next gen,
Yeah.
You're gonna ride the Golden State ship
I'm
again.
gonna be like, what now? But KD versus Kawhi is
it's fun.
it's so
the
good.
media bites and all that.
I
jazz.
think that one is like I'm most excited to put that on,
Yeah.
even though the Cavs, Knicks, and Warriors, Kings are so much.
I get
fun.
more satisfaction watching
Just
the
seeing
Clippers and KD.
suit
Yeah.
up and Kawhi suit up. It's like-
Superstar fest.
Yeah,
It's a shame
So-
Paul George couldn't make it.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And he won't be back this series. They won't. But I think I don't know. I don't know if that's overreaction.
After talking about it, yeah.
I think that they're gonna win that series.
Norman Powell's so good. I'm sorry. I love him.
45 minutes from KD, and they couldn't win at home.
His legs are gonna be so great. Those thin little
Oh,
legs.
Man, 45 KD minutes, and you can't
And they
win.
couldn't win.
That's
And
40,
43 for Booker. 42.
43 for Booker. We can say it a million times, and I won't believe it. And I just don't understand people picking them like so easily. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, look at last year, right? Kyrie, I know it's not exactly the same. And you might argue Kyrie, Booker, who's better. But the Nets
Yeah, the Nets. This is not
got
Nets situation.
swept.
Mm.
I know the Celtics are better than this current Clippers. Whatever. But the Nets got swept by the Celtics.
Yeah,
because,
It was Kyrie, KD.
Because lack of depth.
Yep.
Lack of depth.
And reps.
And reps.
And then
More-
the toe
more-
incident with the previous year after that too.
Yeah, the toe incident. Man, I feel bad for KD with that one because he was carrying.
Oh.
and then the Bucks won the championship. KD's last shot to tie it in overtime. I don't know if you remember.
Yep.
It just airballed.
Yeah.
Because he had nothing,
Nothing
left.
left.
Nothing left in the tank.
And PJ.
And PJ.
PJ.
PJ, game one of our series.
PJ.
Anyway, that's it for this week. It's so exciting. The NBA playoffs. Congratulations to JJJ. I wonder when they're going to give out the MVP.
See, I don't like all this stuff, man. Just like they should be giving it out as the player is like, for the first round.
They should have done it before the playoffs started.
Yeah, before the player started, not this after whatever.
Yeah.
But
But I'm just waiting for it.
He hates the rewards, but he can't wait.
I'm waiting
Can't
for
wait.
the man. Okay. If you're new to the show, hit that subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
And that notifications bell. And if you're just listening on Apple, Spotify, I did it again, Apple Podcasts or Spotify, hit the 5-star rating and the like button. And always come over on YouTube. And I think that's it.
Give us your predictions in the comments.
Yeah.
Let us know who you're
Yeah,
rocking
you
with.
give us your predictions.
Let us
all
know who
these
you're rocking
things.
with.
And we will talk to you next week.
When he's sticking you and taking all your money.